Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video that's a little bit different than my other videos. Usually I try to convey information as quickly as possible within the amount of time that I like to produce on YouTube. But today I just have a lot of random topics that I'd like to talk about, so this one's not going to be as focused as my other videos or as quick. But I feel like that there are some people out there who would benefit from me just sharing what I've been thinking about in the realm of spirituality, of course. But so, you know, I have some ideas about reincarnation and ancestors and people in general that I like to share. So, when I'm at my job, I'm around a lot of people. Now, whoever comes into the store, if I see them, I have this habit of trying to figure out what kind of heritage they have, and also, where their soul has gone to and from where it came. Going all the way back to when they first became a human, and how they got to where they are, both in relation to how much money they have, what kind of heritage they have, and what lessons that are being taught to them by the cycle of birth and death. There's no one good or bad, like you can say race really doesn't exist. But I like to figure out people's journey through the different kinds of people that they were, and also what they have done to put them in a position that they're at. This is all kind of like a subtext that I'm constantly doing at my job, trying to figure out what somebody has done in their lives and what they've learned, if they're learning the lessons that they need to learn. And you can read a lot from people's body language. You can read if they're satisfied with their life, if they have a lot of anxiety, if they have a lot of internal conflict, or if they're actually a genuinely happy and content person. There's nothing more gratifying than seeing somebody who has been through so much, usually like an old man or woman, and you can see that they've been through so much on their face, how they move, and the look in their eyes. But at the same time, they had this other look that says, I've been through this, but it's okay. Everything's okay within me. I'm happy where I am as a person. And when I say where, I don't necessarily mean location, but just the state of consciousness that they've found themselves in, that they've worked towards. Because you can't just happen upon a content state. You have to work your way into it. You have to push aside, the worst things that we can be within and embrace the best. You have to be strong within. It's not about being strong outside. And when you have that internal personal strength, that's when you can produce contentment. So, now, there's also another example I want to talk about with the animals that I have, and animals in general. But, cats and dogs, I try to look into their eyes and see the nature of their soul. And I have cats and dogs. I try to figure out where they've been, how their journey led them here, if it was because they did something that made them become an animal again and that they were human at one point, or if it just took their consciousness a long time to reach their state, their current birth, as a cat, a dog, a snake, whatever. So I always see something in the eyes of animals that I try to identify. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but it's not always the eyes themselves. It's how somebody carries those eyes. It's how the gaze catches the light, if that makes any sense. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out life forms and how they got to where they were, and if it was a downgrade or if it was an upgrade from where they were. The cycle of reincarnation, birth, death, it can go down a lot of different avenues. Most of the animals and plants, if I could venture to say, it just took their soul a long time to realize certain lessons or to accept certain consciousness. So it's not like all animals or plants or bugs are being punished for doing something bad and they were once human, though there's instances of that. I think most of the time it's just consciousness was a little bit slow to develop in those beings. Um, Now, when I think of ancestors, there's something that I think that a lot of people don't know, and it's not necessarily about your blood ancestors as much as it is the ancestors that you most identify with, the ones that you embrace. So even if I'm not related to somebody like, let's say, Ragnar Lothbrok, let's just throw a name out there, or Queen Victoria, if I accepted one of those as my ancestors, or Shaka Zulu, or Bhima, in the Pandava clan in India, long time ago, of course. Um, if I accept one of these characters as my ancestors, and I slowly tune into who they were, and slowly, have them on my shrine, work with them, offer them things, try to open my mind to anything that they're trying to tell me, um, then they can be as much of an influence in my life as any actual blood ancestor. I mean, I have family members who have died, but I never really felt like my immediate family or even my bloodline was completely particular to my soul. There's this idea, and also true, not all Asatwar believe this, but there's a folk spirit that, okay, you might be born again and be reincarnated again, but it's always somebody that's either like, how do I say this, of the same ethnicity, or it's along the same bloodline in a family. You're reincarnated into one family again and again and again. That can happen, but I think that those reincarnation instances are far rarer than the vaster scope of reincarnation itself that we all go through. It isn't Reincarnation isn't what people think it is. Once you've reached the state of being a human, you have gone through a lot. So you've gone through a lot of different rebirths. You were matter for a long time. You were just energy for a long time. But you've reached a state to where you are self-aware. You can understand yourself. And it said animals that they live in this natural oneness, but they don't consider themselves. They aren't aware of the oneness that they're in. They just happen to be a part of that oneness, like a dog or a jackal, a fox, it was in a trap. It'll chew off its own leg just to keep going and not have too much identification with that leg. But they're not aware that process is happening. I was thinking earlier of butterflies and their migrations. It's not just in their DNA, just in their tiny brains. They are just naturally gliding along energy currents that just exist, it's hard for us to measure. Same with birds. Birds have a little bit higher consciousness, but this is why it's especially hard for me to kill even bugs. Don't get me wrong, if somebody was attacking me and I was like, I have to kill this person, then I would, especially if they're attacking somebody else that, was weaker or that deserved aid. I would kill a person, but I have no desire to do that. And I don't have the desire to kill bugs. I mean, I'm vegan, of course, but if a bug's not bothering me, if a spider's in my house and it's not bugging me, I'm not going to kill it. There's just no point. If it's a cockroach, I actually might kill it because that's a little bit more of a pest. Or a mosquito, for sure. Anything that's a pest to humanity where it actually affect your life as a human being, you have the authority to kill it, but only if it is affecting your life to live. So if you have termites and they're taking apart your house, yeah, you can kill them. If it's a mosquito and they're just trying to take your blood, then of course you can kill them. If it's a possum or a raccoon that corners you in your backyard, you can kill it. If it's a wild animal, a boar, something like that, and it charges you, you can kill it. I mean, at least I can't say that. I will say that there's far less dharmic repercussions, karmic repercussions, and almost to the point of there is no repercussion for something that is self-defense of human life. And in this case, it might be your life that you're being charged by a boar or hell, a tiger, a lion, whatever. If you can avoid killing it, then yeah, but if it's a boar that's really close to you and is charging you, and you're like, okay, maybe I can get away by running, but you have a weapon, a boar could still gore you in the back, so If it's close to you and it's clearly charging you and you have a weapon, you can use it. And that's something that's pretty obvious to people who understand karma and dharma, I think. If it's not obvious to you, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Back to ancestors and human blood. There's a lot of information in our blood, but we don't actually inherit, the DNA manifested in us isn't always everybody along our bloodline. Sometimes we get genes that are far more prominent than other ones. Sometimes we ourselves as a person exemplify certain genes just in our biology. And that's how a lot of DNA tests kind of work. Don't quote me on that because that's not my area of expertise. But that's how I kind of understand it. And, the funny story that I've already told my friends is that 23andMe, I did the DNA thing. They sent me the kits, I did the spit test, sent it in. They're like, okay, there's something wrong with the sample. We'll send you another kit. They sent me another kit. Did the exact same thing. I followed all the rules, sent it back in, and then they sent me an email saying they'll refund my money. Which also, I was kind of pissed at the time, so I didn't even get the refund. I was just like, But they're like, okay, we'll give you the money back for the that you spent on this because it's unlikely a DNA test will ever work for you, and that's been bugging me. I really want to try a different company and see if I can get my DNA tested by a different company, but it's weird. I've never heard of that happening with 23andMe, which is very highly rated as far as I can see. But regardless, we can see examples of soul everywhere. Even the ground that we walk on, how it responds to us. Once you become more spiritually aware, it's just like you're in this constant membrane of just a vibrancy. You feel that everything is present, not just the way you're looking at it, but you can feel everything as having an undercurrent of soul, matter, energy. If something could not exist if it didn't have an undercurrent of soul. So, it's hard to determine where one soul starts and one soul ends because ultimately it doesn't divide that way. But, even in relativism, where you're trying to understand, soul in relation so that we can understand it as a human being logically, where we try to actually understand things, which is an important step. An intellectual step is very important. Just know that ultimately everything is one. But if you want to discern the difference between one soul and another, you might think of the soul that exists in a body as kind of a colony of combinations of soul that just has stationed itself in the body you find yourself in. That may be hard to understand. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of how I understand it. That I believe that even every single bacteria in our body is connected to a soul that is separate from our own soul, but still part of the same colony in a way. Bacteria is a very low form of consciousness, so those souls have just taken a long time to get there, or they did something really, really bad. I mean, to go to hell, you have to do something. You have to be Stalin, or you have to be Hitler. You have to be a mass murderer. You have to be somebody who never did a kind thing to anybody in your life, in order to go into something like a bacteria or a virus, assuming that you downgraded and you just haven't slowly upgraded in consciousness. I think it was Paramahansa Yogananda who said he remembered being a diamond, which, I can't even conceptualize that because I could try to understand it, and I've tried to feel myself as being a stationary piece of material before. I've gained some success at it, but it's still so far beyond what we understand. Us having our immediacy right here, our life, trying to get what we need for ourselves, trying to help other people, but from this stationary platform of ourselves, this moving platform rather, it all becomes the water of understanding becomes very muddied once you get to trying to figure out where one thing begins and ends, or from where one thing came and to where it's going. But it's incredibly fortunate to be a human being. This is why it's so important to use it. People who don't focus on spiritual matters, who are not concerned with their consciousness in relation to the grander scheme of things, and are very ego-focused, it's going to take them longer. I'm not saying that they'll gain a worse birth as a human being that's poorer in another life, but it's going to take them a lot longer. Like it's taken some bacteria a long time to get there. It's not that they downgraded; it just took them a long time. this is why we have to try to understand ourselves as metaphysical beings who are not completely independent, not completely self-reliant, because these things are not possible. Not really. You know, working with gods it's a humbling experience because you feel that they understand themselves and their mission. As human beings, there's much less self-understanding and much less understanding of the mission that they're on. You know, Sadhguru is famous for saying, one of the things he said anyway, is that, hey, if you can't find a God that you like, make one. So what he's saying there is it's more about the relation and not the being itself that actually progresses a soul, which I think that there's a lot of merit to that. I don't follow it completely, but I think there's a lot of merit to that. I don't understand the gods in that way particularly, but I think that he's very correct. It's hard for us, you know, I'm still on a stage where I'm not anywhere near enlightenment as far as I know, but as I move forward in my life, I get all these pieces together, I do all these spiritual actions, and I try to make it into something that'll help other people. The Divine Mother Kali Ma has helped me in getting rid of my ego. I still have a lot of it, don't get me wrong, but I can see now other people's success as being just as important as my own. That's why I do what I do on this channel, and there's some ego involved. There definitely is, but I much rather do good and not be known than to do just what a lot of other YouTubers do, where they talk about stuff that's popular and be known when it doesn't really have an impact, a good positive impact on other people. Getting towards the end of this rant, I could probably go on for 3 hours like this, but I try to make my videos a certain length so they're digestible. See, I can't even say the word. And you know, that's very important for some things that I tell you, because if I go on too long of a tangent, then there's too many ideas and it's hard to narrow them down to 1 or 2 or 3 to really think about. That's why I do it the way I do it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you love videos like this, you hate videos like this, shoot down in the comment section below. I read all comments. The only way I don't respond to a comment is if I forget about it or it's something that I have no desire to respond to. Something that's very, and the worst ones, the insults, which are so few, I just delete, because it's not even about a conversation at that point. It's just them calling me something. But those are so few now, which is amazing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for watching my videos. I love you all. Don't forget to love each other. And just try to find yourselves. However you find yourself, or whatever path you follow, just please make progress, just one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. That'll help us all out. The better you understand yourself, the more you can influence others to understand themselves. So thank you very much, and I hope to see all of you on the channel in the future.